So congratulations to all of you. We are making real progress in the class. We are at week 7, and this is an opportunity for us to expand our knowledge of light. Not just the kind of point light source that we've been discussing so far, but we can go beyond that, exploring different kinds of light sources as well. And that's going to be the primary topic for tonight. But before we do that, let me have a little discussion with you guys here. This is a painting by an artist named Scott Burdick, and we're going to be taking a look at a couple of portraits that Scott has done in a moment. But I want to start by taking a look at this one in a different way. I want to tell you about a little bit of excellent advice that Scott Burdick gave me many years ago. So all of you are aware by now, as I guess it's come up a couple of times, that my day job is primarily as a painter for animated movies. In the job, I have an opportunity to meet some interesting people, and one of those people is Scott Burdick. Back in, it must have been about the year 2000, we were starting on the film Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, which was a great opportunity for us as artists because for a couple of years we got to be, in essence, Western landscape painters as we painted the Western scenes, the horse, the wild Mustang, the stallion named Spirit, as he roamed through the West. We got to do the paintings for that film. It was fantastic. So we brought in some consultants and some different people who, in their own right, were excellent landscape painters, and one of those was Scott Burdick. Not just a great portrait artist, but a great landscape artist as well. And so I had the opportunity to meet Scott and speak with him on those occasions, and I was aware of the quality of his portrait work back then. And so I asked him, I said, "Hey Scott, you've really got this down. You've really seemed to have mastered portrait drawing. What did it take for you to get there?" And he said, "Well, when I was studying full-time at the Palette and Chisel in Chicago," he said, "my emphasis was life drawing, and we were doing it nonstop. I mean, for 3 years, we would come in at 9 a.m., and we'd draw until noon. We'd take a lunch break, then we'd come back in, and we would paint from 1 to 4. And then we'd take a dinner break. We'd take a break from 4 to 7. And then we'd come back in and we'd do it again. We would draw and paint from 7 to 10. He said we'd do that 5 days a week. And then on Saturday, we would do some additional stuff. And he said by doing it over and over with that kind of consistency gave him an understanding and a competence on where to go in drawing and painting from life. So for me, I like my animation job, but frankly, it isn't enough. So I made arrangements when we finished the movie Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron to take a sabbatical. I arranged to take 6 months off of work. And so I took this time off. I went to a local art school. There was a local atelier that had a strong emphasis in life drawing, and they were going strong. I set up a meeting with the owner of the school. I said, "My name's Nathan Fukes. I'm a DreamWorks artist. Here's my portfolio of work." And that works for them because they can use that for their own advertising and attach a well-known studio's name. And so I made this agreement with them that I would teach these series of classes for the next 6 months in exchange for a free pass to sit in on any classes, any workshops that I wanted. And so I showed up every day at 9 a.m. I drew until noon, took lunch, came back, painted from 1 to 5, and then from 7 to 10, I came back and I painted again. And then every Saturday, I went out landscape painting. And the improvement that I made during that period was extraordinary. It was something that built on itself on a daily basis. And so the progress wasn't just a little bit of improvement. For me, it was exponential. I say that to tell you that some of you, for you, this is a hobby, and that's fantastic. I almost envy you because you don't have the pressure. But for the rest of us, it's more than a hobby. It is our life's work. And if it's your life's work, you've got to make an extraordinary commitment. You've got to be willing to make some sacrifices. But the definition of a sacrifice is to give up something good for something even better. That's what Scott Burdick did. It's what I've tried to do, and it's what I want to encourage you to do. Which brings us to hair.